Okay. So, first of all, let me tell you this. I will be discussing the questions only and the question with the answers. And this is purely a problem-oriented session. So, the theory parts, which is relevant for the question, I will be discussing. Okay. Other than that, I will not be discussing anything. So I'll be sharing a, you can see, I think I will be sharing a PDF here in the screen. So which has a variety of questions like your past exam questions, CA final exam questions and everything. So I'll be doing that only. Okay. Yes. So we are starting with the charging chapter, that is section 9. Okay. In that I will be, yeah, for the first question is this one. So many of you might have already have seen this question or okay, one second. Okay. So how many of you are outside of Kerala? Like, can I? Is there anyone from outside Kerala who don't know Malayalam? Yes. How many of you are outside Kerala? Just for knowing, nothing. No, somebody of you. Okay, fine. Anyway, about so first of all, let's do this one. Question number 22. I'll also share. See the answer. One second. Now, read this question, everyone. Mr. Priyam is a director of Sun Moon Company Private Limited, provided services to the company for a remuneration of 1,25,000 rupees. Briefly answer whether GST is applicable in the below mentioned independent cases. If yes, who is liable to pay the GST? First one, Mr. Priyam is an independent director of Sun Moon Company Private Limited and not an employee of the company. And Mr. Priyam is an executive director. The second case is an executive director. So before that, before doing this question, you have to first open your theory book, whatever theory book you're following, maybe my book or maybe anyone else's book. So you have to open the theory book and you have to see this theory in your book. So I'll show you here the theory which is applicable for this one is, okay, we have seen schedule 3, right? What is schedule 3, everyone? What is schedule 3? Schedule 3 is a negative list, right? Negative list. So that means something are not supplied. So that means no GST. So first of all, you have to know that is directors. Okay. In that schedule 3, we have something called services by an employee to the employer in the course of employment, right? Services by an employee to the employer in the course of employment. That simply means there is no GST on salary. There is no GST on salary. So whether my first doubt is whether directors are employees of a company, whether a director is an employee of a company. You can type the answer in the chat box also. Whether directors are an employee of a company. Tell me, everyone, whether directors are employee. See, there are two types of directors. First of all, you have to know that there are two types of directors. One is independent directors and the other directors. Independent directors are not the employees. Okay, other directors are employees. So that you have to understand first. Independent directors are not the employees, but then other directors like executive directors, whole-time directors, they are employees of the company. So independent directors, since they are not the employees of the company, they will not be covered under schedule 3 because schedule 3 talks about services by employee to the employer, right? So that independent directors are not the employee. Therefore, whatever service they are doing to the company is supply. But then when it comes to other directors are employee, but still salary. If a company is paying salary to the director, then it is not supply. However, if they're providing professional payment, if the company is providing to a employee director a professional payment, that will be supply. So I've already told you this. I'm not going to discuss the theory in detail. So I'm hoping everybody know this theory. And further you have to also refer the RCM, RCM. So in that RCM, we have already discussed that services by a director to a company is covered under RCM. So with these theories, with this theory, you have to answer this question. So tell me, everyone, in the first case, Mr. Priyam is an independent director. So the first thing, whether this 1,25,000 is supply, that is the first question I'm asking you. Whether this 1,25,000 is a supply. So everybody shall respond, and it is not matter whether it's wrong or right, but just participate. Yes, it is supply. Very good, because he's an independent director, right? He's an independent director. So that is of course supply, because he is not the employee of a company. And the second one is Mr. Priyam is an executive director, means an employee of a company. It's an employee of a company. So whether it is supply, if it's an employee, we cannot say directly. Okay, stop. We cannot say directly, because I told you that even if it's employee, which is only not supply, salary is not only salary is not supply, but this professional payment is actually supply. Professional payment is supply. So since Mr. Priyam is an executive director, is an employee of a company, and this 1,25,000 is paying in two different ways. One is, out of this 1,25,000, 60,000 has been paid as salary. However, the 65,000 rupees has been actually paid as a professional payment. It's actually a professional payment, professional services. So out of this 1,25,000, this 60,000, which is salary, is not supply, but this 65,000 is a professional payment. So this one is supply. Clear? All of you clear with this? Yes. So how do you write in exams? Directly, not supply, you will not, they will not be granted any marks, right? So what you have to do is, first of all, you have to write about the Schedule 3. Okay, service by employee to employer is not supply. And then you have to write small things like as per this circular, directors are two types: independent directors and other directors, and services by independent directors are supply. Other directors, salary are not supply. You have to give a small note about this. Then only you have to start writing the answer. Okay, otherwise you will not be granted any marks. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Clear? Yes. So is this question clear? Question number 22. Clear. Okay. Fine. Next one. Question number 23. Do it. Question number 22. Sorry, 23. Have you already worked out this question, Mr. Vicky Franklin? Already seen this question before? Have you already seen this question before? This one? Yes. Others? No. Okay. So somebody has seen, somebody has not seen. Okay, fine. Anyway, let's try. Anyway. So tell me, everyone, Mr. Vicky Franklin is a unregistered famous author. Has received 3 crore consideration from SBP. Is a publisher. And I'll tell you the question. Mr. Vicky Franklin is an author, and he has actually written some books, and he has given the copyright to SBP, a publisher, and he's getting 3 crore as a consideration, as a royalty. Now, Vicky Franklin is of the view that SBP, that means a publisher, liable to pay tax and reverse charge. However, SBP does not concur with this view. They are not actually willing to pay the taxes. They are saying that we are not the person who has to pay the taxes. Instead, Mr. Vicky Franklin, author, shall pay the taxes. This is what SBP says. But then Vicky Franklin says, no, you have to pay. The publisher has to pay the GST. So the first question, examine whether the view of Mr. Vicky Franklin is correct. Tell me, buddies, whether the view of Mr. Vicky Franklin is correct. Is he saying the correct thing? Mr. Vicky Franklin is saying that publisher shall pay the GST. Publisher shall pay the GST. Is that correct? In case of author, who has to pay the GST? Yes, publisher. Very good. Publisher shall pay the GST. Correct, correct. That is correct. But then what is a recourse? Then they are asking, what is a recourse available? Recourse means solution. What is solution available with Mr. Vicky Franklin to comply with the requirement of GST law, as SBBS completely refused to deposit tax? And whatever circumstances, the SBP is not ready to deposit the tax. The publisher is not ready to deposit tax for whatever reason. They're saying we are not going to deposit this. So they're asking what is a recourse, what is a solution available with Mr. Vicky Franklin to comply with the GST requirement? Is there any other option? Very good. Somebody is given. Yeah. Yes, very good. Okay. So everybody is saying correct answer because he has another option. But what is another option? Mr. Vicky Franklin shall take the registration and deposit the tax. So my question is, see, if it is, for example, Mr. Vicky Franklin is an artist, and SBP is a producer. Suppose SBP is a producer, and Mr. Vicky Franklin is an artist. So in that situation, also producer shall pay the GST. All of us know that. But then producer is not ready to deposit the tax. Then can the artist pay the GST under FCM? Is that possible? No, that is not possible. See, everybody listen here. Normally, an item notified under RCM can never be paid under FCM. That means an item notified under RCM shall pay the GST by the recipient only. There is no option for the supplier to pay the GST under FCM. There is no option, except only in case of author, as you rightly pointed out, only in case of FCM, only in case of author, publisher. In that situation only, publisher shall pay the GST. But if the publisher is not ready to pay, who can pay? The author can pay. But there are four conditions, as you rightly said. There are four conditions. What are the conditions, everyone? What are the conditions? First one, he shall take the registration, then file a declaration, then that option shall not be withdrawn in 1 year, and then make a declaration on all invoices. So these are the four conditions. And if it is satisfied, author can pay the GST. But in any other cases, we have many things under RCM, but in any of those cases, a supplier has no option to pay under FCM, right? So that is an important point you have to keep in mind. Clear? Is that clear? Yes. So the next question number 24. So please do it. Question number 24. Mrs. All-in-One Partnership firm concerned and registered supplier under GST is engaged in providing various services under one roof. The concern provides the following information pertaining to supply made or input service available by it during the month of March 2023. And they provided DSA services and provide security services, provide different services they have provided. Now you have to determine the GST liability of Mrs. All-in-One Partnership firm. So you have to do it. So read the question, everyone, and then start doing. Let me check whether you know this or not. Okay. Have you read, everyone? Yes. Okay. So before answering this one, you have to thoroughly understand the RCM items. Otherwise, you will not be able to do this. Okay. Anyway, all-in-one is a partnership firm concern. That is the first thing you have to notice. Then they have provided these 5 services. Sixth one, I'll tell you. They provide these 5 services. So they providing means they are the suppliers. They are the suppliers. Okay. So the all-in-one partnership firm is the supplier of these 5 items. So they are asking what is the GST that to be paid by the all-in-one partnership firm. That is a question. Okay. So first one, they provided direct selling agent services. So first, see how you have to answer this one is, first of all, you have to identify each transaction, whether it is FCM or RCM. FCM or RCM. So this all-in-one partnership firm is a supplier. So you have to first of all determine in each cases whether it is FCM or RCM. So they are asking how much of the GST to be paid by this all-in-one partnership firm. So if it is FCM comes, then all-in-one shall pay the GST because they are the supplier. But if RCM comes, they don't have to pay. Their recipient will pay. That we don't have to look, right? So this is how you have to do it. Are you getting everyone? How to do it? First of all, you have to check whether it is FCM or RCM in each cases. And if it is FCM, then they will have to pay. Means all-in-one partnership shall pay. But if it is RCM, then the recipient shall pay. That we don't have to check. Right. So the first one, everyone, direct selling agent services, FCM or RCM. You have to open whichever theory book you are actually referring. RCM. Right. Everybody unanimously saying RCM, but then the answer is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Why? The one you have to understand, please, where it is. Yeah, DSA. Very, very important. You have to individual DSA. Individual DSA only RCM. DSA, if it is not individual, then it will be FCM. Okay. Here, who is a DSA? All-in-one partnership firm, which is a DSA. So tell me, everyone, whether it is FCM or RCM. Whether it is FCM or RCM. FCM. So who shall pay the GST? Supplier. Who is a supplier? All-in-one is the supplier. So they have to pay. So we have to add with the GST liability of all-in-one partnership firm. So I'll show you the answer last. Okay. First of all, I'll show you how to do it. Then I'll show you the answer later. Ready? So here FCM and this all-in-one partnership firm shall pay the GST. Second one, tell me, everyone, FCM or RCM? It is no matter whether the answer is correct or not. That is not at all a matter of concern, right? Okay, so you have to just answer. Okay, everybody saying RCM. Yes. Provided security services to ABC Private Limited, a registered person. We'll just check the theory first. Security service. In case of security services, 2 things shall be observed. One is, in case of security services, the supplier shall be any person other than body corporate. Supplier shall be other than body corporate, and the recipient shall be registered person. Recipient shall be registered person. If any of these 2 combination breaks, then it will be FCM. Say, for example, supplier is a body corporate, always FCM. And supplier is not a body corporate and recipient registered, then RCM. If not registered, FCM. So this is how you have to learn the security services. So when it comes to your question, who is a supplier here? All-in-one partnership firm. Partnership firm, is that a body corporate? Partnership firm, is that a body corporate? No, partnership firm is not a body corporate. Body corporate means only company and LLP. So partnership firm is not a body corporate. Recipient, who is a recipient here? Who is a recipient? ABC Private Limited is a registered person. So both combinations are correct, right? So whether it is FCM or RCM, whether it is FCM or RCM, RCM. So who shall pay the GST in case of RCM? Who shall pay the GST in case of RCM? Recipient. Recipient, who is the recipient here? ABC Private Limited. That they will pay. We don't have to check. So we don't have to add this with the all-in-one partnership firm. Right. Third case, read everyone. Third case and tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. Third case, tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. Again, security services, but to a PSR trust, an unregistered person is an unregistered person. I'll show you. I already have shown you this. When the recipient is not registered, then FCM. So tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. Since the recipient is unregistered person, it is FCM. So supplier shall pay the GST. Who is a supplier? This all-in-one partnership firm is a supplier. So we have to add with the GST liability of all-in-one partnership firm. Right. Next one, tell me everyone, the fourth one, read and tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. Fourth one, whether it is FCM or RCM. Renting of motor vehicle services to Amaze Tours Limited. Everybody open the theory and renting. In case of, you have to remember this, in case of renting of motor vehicle, to come RCM, we have to tick four things in the question. If that four things in the question you already tick, then it will be RCM. Otherwise, it will be FCM. What all the four things you have to tick is, one is the supplier shall be other than body corporate. That is the first thing you have to observe. Second one, recipient shall be a body corporate. Recipient shall be a body corporate, and percentage, GST percentage shall be 5%. GST percentage shall be 5%. And other thing is the consideration include the cost of fuel. These four things you have to tick in the question, then only it will be RCM. So security lending to trust, why it is not RCM? Security lending, it is not security lending, buddy. What is this? This one is what is a security service? Security service in the sense like providing security employees. Okay. Fine. Okay. Yeah, fine. Because it is not registered. That is why it is. It's actually FCM. Now, what was I saying? In case of renting, listen here. In case of renting of motor vehicle, to come RCM, you have to tick in question four things. Then only that will be RCM. Otherwise, it will be FCM. What are the four things you have to tick, everyone? First one, supplier shall be other than body corporate. Second one, recipient shall be body corporate. Third one, percentage shall be 5%. And fourth one, consideration included the cost of fuel. So let's see this. Okay, we have to tick four things. First one, supplier shall be other than body corporate. Supplier shall be other than body corporate. Is that correct? Supplier is all-in-one partnership firm, so it's not a body corporate. Who is the recipient here? Amaze Tours Limited. Limited is the company. So that also correct. Is a body corporate. Recipient is a body corporate. Third one, percentage shall be 5%. Correct. Because they're saying that percentage is 9 each, means 18%. Except in case of renting vehicle, 2.5 each, means 5%. So that also correct. The fourth one, consideration include cost of fuel. That also correct. So whether it is FCM or RCM, everyone, whether it is FCM or RCM, RCM. So who shall pay the GST here? Who shall pay the GST here? Recipient. Who is the recipient? Amaze Tours Limited. They shall pay the GST. Correct. Set. So, and the fifth one. Tell me, everyone. Fifth one. Provided renting of motor vehicle to Pridhian company, a CMA firm. Tell me. Again, the renting of motor vehicle, but here the recipient is a firm. Firm is not a body corporate. So the recipient is not a body corporate. So whether it will be FCM or RCM, FCM. So we shall pay the GST. In case of this, we shall pay the GST. So far, so good. Everything is clear. These 5 items clear or no? Right? Everyone, okay. I know somebody of you are from outside Kerala. Anyway, so കുറച്ചൊക്കെ കൊഞ്ചമല്ല എന്താണ് കുറച്ച് മലയാളം തിരിയും. Anyway, listen. So fine. This is FCM. This is RCM. This is FCM. This is RCM. This is FCM. And who will tell the last one? Is it FCM or RCM? Last one, tell me, everyone. Anybody. You have to read the question first, okay? Then you have to tell me this, whether it is FCM or RCM. You have to read the question here and here. Then you have to tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. RCM. See, it's a law firm. Law firm means an advocate. So advocate, see, there is small differences. Here, in these 5 cases, all in one was that means this partnership firm was a supplier. But then sixth one is a receipt. It is an inward supply. It is an inward supply because advocate is a supplier. All in one partnership firm is a recipient. Here the recipient, right? Okay. So tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. Everybody tell me whether it is FCM or RCM. RCM. Confirm, pakka, 100%. FCM. See, there is a small mistake. This is not RCM. Why? Then FCM. This is not FCM. Both are wrong. Very good. Somebody has told the correct answer. Why? Why exempted? Why exempted? Reason? Court, that is not correct. That is not correct. Court has nothing to do with this question. Other than business entity. No, business entity only. Business entity is a partnership firm, is a business entity, of course. Representative service, oh no. Not a legal service, no. It's a legal service only. Threshold limit, okay. See, I'll show you. Somebody has, I think you have pointed the correct one. See, this is a one thing many of students will not check, in fact. I'll show you this. In case of advocate, okay. In case of advocate, see, the actual theory of this is actually coming under exemption chapter. So you have to first open the exemption chapter. So in case of advocate or arbitral tribunal, they provide into a business person other than business entity, then it will be exempted. But in this case, it's a pakka business entity because it's a all-in-one partnership firm. So this point is not applicable here. So they are business entity. But if the advocate or arbitral tribunal providing services to a business entity whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year is less than the threshold limit of registration. You might have studied 40 lakh, 20 lakh, 10 lakh, right? Under registration chapter. So if that business entity's last year's aggregate turnover, that is another mistake everybody does. See, the business entity, somebody will learn this in this way. Business entity is not registered is exempted, registered is taxable. That is pakka wrong. You should not learn in that way, because I'll tell you. Here you read this. All-in-one partnership firm is a registered supplier. It's a registered supplier. So if that if the registered supplier, then you are saying wrong, right? Because it's a registered supplier. But that is not the case. Whether it is registered or not, that is not the case. You have to check only this one. The last year, aggregate of the last year, preceding financial year, is less than the threshold limit, 40 lakh or 20 lakh or 10 lakh. So listen carefully. We are in 2020 to 23, suppose. So, and the last year is 2021-22. In this year, this business entity may be registered. That is not a problem. But if the last year's aggregate turnover is less than 40 lakh or 20 lakh or 10 lakh, then it will be exempted in the current year. irrespective of the fact that he's registered in the current year. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is a very important because people are making mistake on this, because they will be in symbol they will be saying registered, taxable, not registered, exempted. Not understood? Should I repeat once again? Yes, listen. See, we all have understood, we all have studied services by an advocate is taxable under RCM, right? But then in exemption chapter, if you go to exemption chapter, there you can see an advocate providing services to 3 entities are exempted. Advocate providing services to 3 entities, actually 4, but now we'll say only 3. 3 entities are actually exempted. Which are these 3 entities? One is any person other than business entity. That means a non-business entity will be exempted. Secondly, they're saying a business entity, but whose aggregate turnover of the last year is less than the threshold limit. Threshold limit means 40 lakh, 20 lakh, or 10 lakh, depends on the person, depends on the state, right? So there you have to understand this. We are in 2020 to 23. In 2020 to 23, all-in-one partnership firm is registered. Fine. And the advocate is providing in 2020 to 23 a services to all-in-one partnership firm, a registered business entity. This is not a matter of concern. This you should not check. To check whether it is exempt or not taxable, you should not check the current year status. That is not you have to check. But what you have to check is you have to check the aggregate of the last year. If the aggregate of the last year is less than the 40 lakh or 20 lakh or 10 lakh, then it will be exempted. The advocate services to this business entity will be exempted in the current year, irrespective of the fact that the business entity in the current year is registered or not. Yeah, I'll come to that point. Somebody asking that, but in this question, how we know this point? Okay, I'll show you this. Is this clear? Whatever I said so far, is that clear? Everybody. Because your response is my fuel. Because I've already today I had 9 to 5:30 offline classes. After that only I came here. So you have to give me a fuel, give me the fuel, right? Okay. Set, already set, clear? Yes. Now here did they say anything about the last year aggregate turnover? You tell me, buddies. I already told you this exempted. Why exempted? The same point I've already explained. I explained the point. Last year aggregate turnover the less than threshold limit, less than 40 lakh or 20 lakh or 10 lakh. But where do we find this? Very good. Somebody has noticed. Yeah, correct. Because they're saying that all-in-one commenced its business in the February. We are in March. So they commenced the last month only. So in the last year, definitely 0. Are you getting the thing, everyone? Yes. So this is exempted. Settle line. Clear? This is your CF final exam question actually. They've asked in some November 18, I guess. So I have put in the level. So because they will be testing the after some attempts, there will be what we say de-promoting the question to in the. So before that, I will include in my question bank. Right. Okay. So that is the 3 questions we have done, and I hope it is clear, everyone. Right. So we'll move into next question here. So I'll show you how to present it. So this is the question we have done now. Chargeability. So you have to write here, and for each adjustment you have to give the notes. Okay, for each adjustment, for each question you have to give the adjustment, you have to give the notes, otherwise they will not be granted any marks. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind. Yeah. Now we'll move on to another question. Okay, in case we are now getting into the registration chapter. So the fourth question in our this one. Okay, so everybody, question number 29. this is I only made. So this is not an institute question. This I only made. So everyone read the question number 29 and tell me whether this company shall be liable to register. So I hope all of you know the theory. I'm not going to discuss the theory as I already told you this. This is purely a question practicing session, right? But still I will just show you the theory. Section 22, we know that we have MMNT. MMNT in the sense special category states. Which all the special category state, everyone? Answer the question in the sense like yeah, maybe I'll try maybe I'll put the question. I'll share with the Mubarak. Okay, yeah. See which all the MMNT: Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. All right, these are the 4 special category states. So in that MMNT, we know that limit will be 10 lakh. For all other states, the limit will be if it's services, then 20 lakh. If the goods, it will be 40 lakhs, right? And 40 lakh limit will not be applicable in certain cases, like if even you're supplying a small services, then the limit will be 20 lakh. And if you're supplying certain goods like ice cream, other pan masala, fly ash bricks, all those things, then it will be 20 lakhs. And also these states, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Pondicherry, and Telangana, for these states also limit will be 20 lakh. And there is an important note: if a person supplying taxable supplies from a state including special category state. Which all the special category state, everyone? Which are the special category states? TP Suma, correct. Okay, TP Suma or AMSU PT, whatever you can call, AMSU PT or TP Suma, whatever. So the yeah, fine. Okay, and that also I just want to what we say, tell you this: don't learn so too many short forms. Okay, for 1 or 2, okay, fine. Otherwise, you will remember the short form, but you won't remember the expansion. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Suma PT or AMSU PT, everything fine. Okay, anyway. Important. What is it? If a person supplying taxable supplies from a state, including special category state and other states, the limit will be 10 lakh for all the states. You have seen this one, right? You have seen these important notes. Correct only, right? Yes. So these are some theories that you have to keep in mind before doing the question. Okay. So now tell me whether this company shall be liable to register in these states, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Tell me. So how do we check whether it is liable for registration? For that, you need to compute the aggregate turnover. First, you need to compute the aggregate turnover. So tell me how much is aggregate turnover? And they are doing only goods, right? Okay, only goods. How much is aggregate turnover, everyone? How much is the aggregate turnover? How much is aggregate turnover? So which all things we shall add? We have to add taxable supplies. One more thing, I just want to tell you, somebody is answering like this. In Kerala, this is something, and Tamil Nadu, this is something. That is actually wrong, because aggregate turnover means to be computed all India basis. There is nothing like Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Okay, you have to combine it and add. So how much is aggregate turnover? No. That AMSU PT is not a special category state. AMSU PT is a normal state. That's not a special category state. Okay, yes. How much is aggregate turnover? We have to add 5 lakh, 6 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 1 lakh. Should we add this RCM items, everyone? Should we add this RCM? Should we add this RCM? No. We should not add this RCM. We should not add RCM. Sorry, we should not add this RCM. But should we add this one? Yes, that should be added. See, you have to remember this. In aggregate turnover, they're specifically saying this. Which one should be ignored? Inward supply under RCM. Inward supply under RCM should be ignored. So this one only should be ignored. Which one? This 5 lakh and 5 lakh, that should not be taken. But then other things, everything should be taken. So what is aggregate turnover? 31 lakh, right? So Whether it is liable for registration, 31 lakh. In Kerala, what is the threshold limit, everyone? In Kerala, what is the threshold limit? Goods 40 lakhs. Tamil Nadu, what is the threshold limit? Same, 40 lakhs. But aggregate turnover is coming only 31 lakh. So should we go for registration here? Kerala, Tamil Nadu? No. But you have to also remember another portion. Since they are engaged in, since they are liable for RCM, purchase under RCM, they have to take compulsory registration under section 24. That also you have to got. In section 22, they are not liable. But then when it comes to section 24, compulsory registration, they are liable. Do you remember section 24? Person who are required to pay tax under 9, subsection 3 or 4? Not interstate. Here, there is no interstate supply. Here, see, that also somebody make mistake on that. Here, any interstate supply is there. Having two branches doesn't mean that interstates. See, I have a Kerala branch, I have Tamil Nadu branch. It doesn't mean that I'm making interstate supply. Because I'm supplying from Kerala branches to Kerala customers, and from Tamil Nadu branch, I'm supplying to Tamil Nadu customers. That is not an interbranch. What is interstate? From Kerala, if I'm supplying to Tamil Nadu, that is only interstate. Are you getting? Clear? So here in section 22, I'm not liable. Why not liable? Because aggregate turnover does not exceed 40 lakhs in both the states. But also you have to quote as per section 24, since they are engaged, since they are RCM supplies, right? Purchase of goods on which attract RCMs, then they are compulsorily liable under section 24. That also you have to quote. Clear? So the fourth question is done. Then the next one you have to do is question number 33. Do it. Question number 33. Anybody tell me this one? Question number 33. Tell me the aggregate turnover. Other things I'll discuss. Tell me the aggregate turnover. How much is the aggregate turnover? My network is very poor with the recorder session. Record session, I'll ask with Mubarak because I don't know actually. Yeah. So tell me everyone, what is the, yeah, I'll just ask them, okay. What is the aggregate turnover? Let's go by one by one. First one, sale of diesel. Shall we add diesel in aggregate turnover? Diesel. Shall we add diesel in aggregate turnover? Diesel is what kind of supply? Diesel is what kind of supply? Exempted supply not. You have to call it as not exempted supply. Not exempted supply. That is wrong. The diesel, petrol, alcohol for which there is a separate name. Very good. Non-taxable supply. You have to learn in that way only. Don't call it a generalized exempted supply. It is non-taxable supply. It is a non-taxable supply. Listen carefully, buddies. Listen carefully. So diesel or petrol or alcohol, these are items which we call as non-taxable supply. So do we add non-taxable supply in aggregate turnover? That is my question. Here in aggregate turnover, they asking taxable supply, exempted supply, export and industry. That's it. There is nothing about the non-taxable supply. So shall we add diesel here? That is a question. Everybody, tell me. Yeah, very good. Yes, we have to add. Why? Because in I've given here whether non-taxable supply shall be added while computing the aggregate turnover, because they're saying that we have seen exempted supply shall be added. And there is a definition of exempted supply under 2 clause 47, which clearly says exempted supply includes non-taxable supply. Exempted supply includes non-taxable supply. So that is why we have to add non-taxable supply also. So we have to add this 7 lakh, right? 7 lakh we have added. Second one should we add? Second one, should we add or not? Tell me. Second one, add. What is that actually? What is that actually? Mr. Vishnu is a job worker. Mr. Vishnu is a job worker. And from his place, his principal has sold a certain item to the customer. Okay, so this is a Mr. Vishnu is a Mr. Vishnu is a job worker, and from his place, his principal has sold a certain item to the customers directly. So whether we shall add, you have to actually read this definition very clearly. What is aggregate turnover? We all know this. Many students will stop the definition here. This is the definition. Many students will stop the definition here, but the definition doesn't stop there. It also goes further. It's clearly saying aggregate turnover of the agent shall include the sales made on behalf of the principal. So while computing the aggregate turnover of the agent, we shall add sales made on behalf of the principal. But the second point clearly saying aggregate turnover of the job worker shall not include sales made on behalf of the principal. So the correct wordings I given here and the summary I've given as a heading, so you can just remember. In case of agent, we shall add sales made on behalf of the principal, but that is not the case in case of job worker. You should not add any sales in hands of the job worker, which is made on behalf of the principal. So here, shall we add or not? He's a job worker. He's not an agent. He's a job worker. So shall we add the aggregate turnover? Sorry, shall we add this sales which is made on behalf of the principal? Shall we add? No, we should not add this one. Are you getting? If it's an agent, yes, we have to add. Third one, supply to its own additional place of business in Tamil Nadu. Shall we add? No, because it is not a distinct person. It is the same state, so it's not a distinct person. That also will become distinct person if it is separately registered. So nothing, they're not saying anything about this. So we can assume that it is not separately registered. So this is not supply. So we should not add. And then goods exempted from GST, definitely we have to add. So how much is aggregate turnover coming? 15,20,000, right? 15,20,000. That's it. So he not liable for registration. Clear? So here two things I have explained. One is non-taxable supply shall be added. I also shown the reason for that. And second one, in case of job worker, you should not add sales made on behalf of the principal. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Supply to own additional place distinct personal. No. See, that also you have to understand. To additional place in the state, in Tamil Nadu, he's also in Tamil Nadu, right? He's in Tamil Nadu. So the both branches in Tamil Nadu means same states. So that will be distinct person only when it has separate registration. Okay. So if it is a separate registration, then you can say distinct person. Otherwise, you cannot say. So it's not a distinct person. Okay. The next one. Everybody, you have to tell me this, whether they are liable for registration, this case 34. Read everyone and tell me whether they are liable for registration. You have to read each question and tell me. First one, whether it is liable, everyone. Raghav of Assam is exclusively engaged in industrial supply of ready-made garments. Assam 28 lakh and Tripura 11 lakhs. Tell me, how much is the aggregate turnover? How much is the aggregate turnover? 39 lakhs. And they are dealing goods. So in case of Assam, the limit is 40 lakh only, right? So whether liable for registration in Assam? Whether liable for registration in Assam? That is very important, buddies. It is liable. Why? Because there is another branch in Tripura. Tripura is a special carrier state. So if you have a branch in special carrier states and you're doing taxable supply from there, the limit of other branches also will become 10 lakh. That is the issue. So here, the limit of Assam is not 40 lakh, it is 10 lakh. It is just like that as Tripura. Clear? So here we have to take registration in Assam and also in Tripura. That is an important note. I shown you this. This is an important note. What is an important note? If a person supplying taxable supplies from a state, including special carrier states and other states, the limit will be 10 lakh for all the states. Special carrier state means MMND. So that is the adjustment you have to keep in mind. Second one, second one liable now. Supply of shoe, Goa. Shoe is a goods. So the Goa limit will be 40 lakhs. So not liable because aggregate turnover is not crossing. Next one, third one. Pan masala. In Himachal Pradesh, normally the limit of goods is 40 lakh. But when it comes to pan masala, what would be the limit? 20 lakhs. So they are liable. Third one, liable. Fourth one. Service limit is 20 lakh. So they have to take registration because it is 25 lakhs. And the fifth one, E, goods and service. If it is goods and service, what would be the limit, buddies? If it is goods and service, what would be the limit? 20, right? So it is 30 lakh. So they are liable for registration. Yes, very good. This is your RTP question, RTP May 22. Do this question number 42. Question number 42. Do this. So the what they are saying that he has taken a voluntary registration in the month of April, but he has not commenced the business up to December. Then the proper officer cancel the registration. Is that the action of the proper officer is valid, buddies? Is the action of the proper officer is valid? Can proper officer cancel a registration if it is not starting the business? Yes. You can read here cancellation by proper officer. In that you can read here the C point. C point, read this. Voluntarily registered person not commenced the business within 6 months. Within 6 months they are not commenced the business, then the proper officer can cancel the registration. So he has taken the registration in April, but they have not started in December till. So they can, proper officer can cancel, no issues. The second portion, read everyone. So this is valid. This is valid. Second portion, read. Let me put the system on charging. Okay, 1 second. So tell me, buddies, whether the second action is correct or not. So what is the second action? Second situation, they're saying that. So it is cancelled. Okay, cancelled. Now the Mr. X is applying for a revocation of cancellation. Revocation of cancellation. But then a revocation of cancellation, we all know that it has to be applied within 30 days. Within 30 days. But this guy is applying after 40 days. 40 days is applying. So the department is saying that after 30 days, you cannot apply for revocation. You cannot, you can take it back after 30 days. So is the action of the department is correct? After 30 days, you cannot apply for revocation. Is that correct? Yes or no, everyone? Yes or no? Everybody respond. Is the action of the department is correct? Department is saying that after 30 days, you cannot apply for revocation. Is that correct? There you have to remember one thing. See, there is something called revocation of cancellation, right? Revocation of cancellation. See, the revocation of cancellation shall be applied within 30 days. But there is, what we say, they've extended it. After 30 days also, you can apply, but with permission of whom? If you want to apply up to 30 days, after that 30 days got over, then you have to, additionally, you want to extend for another 30 days, then you have to get approval from additional commissioner, joint commissioner. And after that 30 days, I mean, 61st day from that 61st days, another 30 days, then you have to get the approval of commissioner. Now, in our question, he is in 40 days. 40 days. That means 30 days is got over, then next 30 days. So you can write here, right there, like he can still apply for revocation, but with prior approval of the additional commissioner, joint commissioner. So the action of the department is not tenable, not valid. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? Yes. Next one, question number 59. Question number 59, do it, everyone. Total 90 days. Yes, total 90 days. Good. Yes. Question number 59. Do it, everyone. So he has 3 branches in Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Tripura. So first of all, you have to compute the aggregate turnover. How much is aggregate turnover, everyone? How much is the aggregate turnover? 31 lakhs. So what is the limit of Madhya Pradesh? Madhya Pradesh is actually 40 lakh, right? And Gujarat also 40 lakh because it's goods only. Tripura is 10 lakh. But we have studied another point. What is that point? If you have branch in special category state, the limit of every other branches will be reduced to 10 lakh. So Madhya Pradesh limit is not 40, it is 10, it is 10, it is 10. So the limit of this 31 lakh exceeding in all the states. So we have to take registration in 3 states. Are you getting clear? This is your exam question. But then second one, please read the second adjustment. Will your answer be different if in Tripura is supplying only petrol and diesel? Petrol and diesel. Then will your answer be different? In Tripura, this is fully petrol and diesel. Then will your answer be different? Yes, because so why what is it making yes, no need of registration, correct? Because in Tripura, definitely not need, because only petrol and diesel. So as per section 23, you're not liable for registration. But what about the Madhya Pradesh and Tripura? See, you have to remember this one. Having a branch in special category state itself will not get itself is not a reason for reducing the limit of other state to 10 lakhs. In the special category state, you have to supply taxable supply. Then only the limit of other states will get reduced to 10 lakh. Here in Tripura, if you're supplying petrol and diesel only, then the limit of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat will not reduce to 10 lakh. It will get remain on 40 lakhs. So whether they are liable for registration, because aggregated only 31 lakhs, so they are not liable for registration. Are you getting everyone? So you have to read carefully. They're saying that the limit of other state will be reduced to 10 lakh only when you have a branch in special category state plus you are supplying a taxable supply from there. Clear? All of you clear that? Hello everyone. എല്ലാവരും ഉറങ്ങണോ? എന്റെ അത്ര പോലും ഉഷാറില്ലല്ലോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക്. Clear? Set. So how many questions we have done already? This was our fourth question, right? Of 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. Okay. Next one. Next, in case of combos and dealer, I will give I'll give a small question. This is your exam question. Question number 71. Tell me whether they are eligible for combos scheme. Question number 71. Yes. Read this and tell me whether they are eligible for the combos scheme. You know the combo scheme, right? Because I'm not going to discuss the theory. So here also, I'll just show you this. Here also, you have to first of all compute the aggregate turnover. So that aggregate turnover should not exceed 75 lakh in these states, 1.5 crore in all other states. So here also the aggregate turnover definition is here, exactly same as the registration chapter. Then next one is these are the rate. If it's a manufacturer, restaurant, others, the rate will be 1%, 5%, and 1%. And then we have so many other conditions. One is that he should not be a service provider. He is not engaged in goods which are not leviable tax, means non-taxable supply you should not do, and not making interstate outward supply. So those conditions also there. Okay. So that you have to keep in mind. Then you have to work out. So first of all, you have to compute the aggregate turnover. So in case of Assam, the limit is 1.5 crore. So you have to check whether it is exceeding the 1.5 crore. Whether it is exceeding the 1.5 crore. So tell me everyone, what is aggregate turnover here? How much is the aggregate turnover? $125, $125. 1.25, 95, 125, 125. Most of the answers are coming 125, but then the answer is absolutely wrong. See, you should not get offended like when I'm saying one absolute wrong, because that is a one common thing I'm making in all the cases, in all the classes actually. For yeah. So tell me how much is 95, 100, 125? Different questions answer you're getting. See, I'll show you. First one, value of taxable outward supply. Out of 10 lakh is interested, definitely we have to add an aggregate turnover, so 50 lakh. Value of exempted supply. Exempted supply we should add, but one thing you have to understand, in case of aggregate turnover definition, here the explanation is saying, interest on deposit shall not add while computing the aggregate turnover. Interest on deposit shall not add. So interest on deposit you should not add. So this, out of this 70 lakh, 30 lakh is interest. 30 lakh is interest. So here you have to just add only 40 lakhs because 30 lakh is interest. Then value of inward supply under RCM, definitely you should not add. Value of export you have to add. So how much is aggregate turnover? 95 lakhs. Now tell me whether it is eligible, whether he is eligible or not. Why not eligible? Why not eligible? Very good. Is engaged in interstate transaction. Right, very good. That's it. So that you have to keep in mind. So that is only one thing I'm doing from the composite scheme. Okay, so fine. This is clear, right? This question is clear. How you got the 95, everything is clear, right? Yeah, fine. Next one is in exemption chapter. Let's do this one, question number 75. So in exemption is one lengthiest chapter in your syllabus, but it is very easy to study actually, because you don't have to mug up anything from there, but you just need to read 1 or 2 times. That's it. So this is the exemption chapter. You can see here. In case of charitable, you have to remember what are the charitable activities. Then only you will be able to do this question. You have to first know what are the charitable activities. Okay. So everybody have to tell me whether these are taxable or exempted. That's it. Whether these items are taxable or exempted. But when you're presenting an exam, if it is taxable, you have to write the amount. If it is not taxable, then also you have to write the item, and then in the amount column, you should write 0. But in each cases, you have to give notes for each and every adjustment. See, in GST, you will not be getting some high funda questions now. You will be getting simple questions. Believe me, you will be getting simple question. Except in case of payment of GST question, they will be asking some, okay, fine. That will be somewhat difficult. But then other questions will be definitely simple. But students are losing marks only because of presentation. So you have to present the answer very nicely. That you have to keep practicing. You have to keep practicing by writing. You should not vouch the question. We are all doing articleship or training. Then we will do vouching. Just tick. Okay, taxable, exempted, taxable. That you should not do. You have to write down. Then thereby you have to practice. Otherwise, your presentation will not be good. So that is one thing everybody shall keep in mind. You have to present. You have to write down and study. Okay, don't read and go. Don't read the question and answer. You have to write down. So anyway, 75. Now you can just watch it because we don't have time. So that you just tell me in each of the cases taxable or exempted. First one, taxable or exempted. Amount received for yoga camp. Exempted, because it is a charitable activity. You have to read the definition first. Charitable activity. There you can see advancement of religion, spirituality, or yoga. Second one, taxable exempted. Amount received for counseling of mentally disabled person, taxable exempted. It is also exempted. That also there in the charitable activity definition. Third one, taxable exempted. Taxable. Why? Because there it is clearly saying that the room rent of that charitable organization will be taxable. If it is per day rooms, like lodge rooms and all, 1,000 or more day will be taxable. In case of community hall, that will be taxable if it is 10,000 or more day. If it is a commercial shops, renting shops, etc., then that will be taxable if it is more than 10,000 or more per month. So here it is 15,000 per month. So whether it is taxable exempted, taxable exempted, taxable. Okay, next one. Preservation of forest and wildlife, taxable exempted, exempted, because that is there in the charitable activity definition. So you have to definitely read that definition. Fine. Next one. Next question. I am actually in that question bank. I've given every for each concept there is a one or two questions, but we don't have time, so I'll be making you work out some important question. Question number 80. Everybody do this question number 80. So for that, if you need to do the question number 80, you have to know the educational services. Okay, you know the category 1, category 2, category 3. There are 3 types of institutions and services to institutions, services provided to institution, right? That will be exempted, depends on the category. Category 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be exempted. What is 1, 2, 3, 4? Transportation, catering, security, and admission to or conduct of examination. And in case of category 2, that means colleges and all, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 means examination and admission to or conduct of examination and supply by online education channels. And category 3, vocational, only 4 is exempted. 4 is exempted in the sense examination. So this theory you shall first read, then only you will be able to do the question. Okay, so everybody please do the question number 80. So this is a small problem with the workout session, because even if I'm doing simply the problems, I will have to explain some theory. That is the problem. Whatever revision, everything is over. Revision, is that over income tax and GST? No. What about others? Revision, is that got over? November only, right? It is already October. October, right? Yes, October, next month. No, still not over. You're all writing both groups. First group, both group, mixture. Okay. Fine. Okay. Yes. Anyway, you have to perform well and let me know the result. Yeah. Okay. Set. Okay. Anyway, all the best. So anyway, now you can do this 80. Question number 80. So multi-services private limited registered in Punjab. They have wide variety of services. So they have received so many amount. So you have to understand this. These amounts are received by multi-service. So multi-service is a supplier of these items. So first, what is the first one? Question? PDF questions. PDF actually not available. Okay. Anyway, so first one, fee for coaching provided to students for competitive exams. Hard copy is available. Details. Anyway, about fee, so fee for the coaching provided to students of competitive exams. Competitive exam in the sense like CA, CMA, CS, or NEET, G, whatever. So tell me, everyone, whether the fee of CA, you have studied in a different institute and you have paid the fee, whether that fee is taxable or exempted. Whether the fee paid by you in various institute is taxable or exempted. Taxable or exempted? Taxable. That is of course taxable. That is of course taxable. Right. Then the because that is taxable, because the exemption will be available only for those category 1, category 2, category 3. That you have to first listen, study what are these 3 categories. Second one, tell me. Second one, taxable or exempted? Second one, taxable or exempted. See, what is this? This multi-services, this company has received 19,200 from Purity University. That means the multi-services provide services to Purity University. University is a second category, college and university, second category. So for that, what kind of supply multi-services is provided in relation to examination? So whether it is taxable or exempted, examination, whether it is taxable or exempted, whether it is taxable or exempted, what is exempted? Correct. That is exempted. Okay, because you have to learn the theory. So I'm hoping everybody know the theory. Okay. Third one, taxable or exempted. Third one, taxable or exempted, everyone. Amount received for transportation of students and faculty from their residence to Lotus Public School. So here also multi-service provides services to Lotus Public School. What kind of supply they provided? Transportation. Lotus Public School, which category it is? Public school. Which category it is? Category number 1. So that category number 1, what kind of supply they provided? Transportation. That is exempted. So this is also exempted. The last one, taxable or exempted. Last one, taxable or exempted, everyone. There are also preschool. Preschool is a category number 1. Category 1, what kind of supply they provided? Security service. That also exempted. So it's very easy. So only this 6,24,000 is taxable. Settle. All of you clear? Yep, sure. Next question we are actually doing is 87. This is your RTP question. Okay. That is services provided to government. So you have to know the theory first. Services provided to government is services provided to government, where it is? Services provided to government, you have to keep this chart in mind. If it is a pure services, that will be exempted. If it is service plus goods, then the value of goods, if it is not more than 25%, then it will be exempted. If it is more than 25%, then it will be fully taxable. Then fair price shops will be, that the commission margin will be exempted. And then the training programs sponsored by the government will be exempted if the percentage of the government share is not less than 75%. These are the some theory you have to keep in mind. Now read the question and answer, everyone. Now read the question and answer it. Question number 87. Question. How many questions we have done? No idea. 11. This is 11th. No, I think this is 12th, right? This is 12th. Okay, fine. Yes. Okay. First one. Taxable or exempted. They're providing services to government. Okay, they given in the beginning. So they are providing a cleaning of road services to government. Taxable or exempted. You have seen pure service will be exempted. So cleaning of road is a pure service, so that is exempted. Second one we have given separately, specifically we have studied fair price shops. They're getting the commission, that is actually exempted. Clearly they're given fair price shops exempted, fair price shops commission or margin is exempted. So they directly quoted that sentence in the question. Third one, tell me, taxable or exempted. Third one, taxable or exempted. Third one is taxable. Why? Because Here they're providing services of maintenance of street light, but they're also supplying replacement of defunct lights. So they means they're supplying the goods also. Then the value of the goods is 35%. 35%. The goods value should not be more than 25%. Here it is 35%. So it is taxable. It is taxable. And the fourth one taxable or exempted. Fourth one taxable or exempted. Fourth one taxable or exempted, everyone. Exempted, isn't it? This is taxable because the training program will be exempted if the government contributing more than 75%. Here the government is contributing only 70%, which is less than 75%. So that is taxable. Clear? Clear? Okay, fine. Next one, I'm just okay. Question number 104. This is your main 19 question. Or we'll do another one. This one actually you might have already then we will see this one. Okay. 92. This is your MTP 90 number 22 question. MTP question. 92. Okay, do it. This is our 13th question, right? Yes. Do it. So in case of banking services, you have to know the theory. So I'm just showing this. In case of banking services, where it is. Bank services, all the interest and all, everything will be exempted. But then all the charges, everything will be taxable. But then interest on finance lease and interest on credit card will be taxable. All those theory you have to keep in mind. Now you have to work out. Okay. Question number 92. First one. Tell me everyone, taxable or exempted. Extending housing loan to customer. Taxable or exempted? Taxable or exempted? Extending housing loan to customer. Taxable or exempted? Everyone tell me. Are you sleeping? Taxable or exempted? Exempted. Exempted, the answer is absolutely wrong. Taxable, the answer is absolutely wrong. This is not taxable, this is not exempted, this is not supply. This is not supply. Why? Extending loan, how it becomes supply? It is just a transaction money. You're giving the money, you will be getting, you are actually getting it back. So that is not supply. That interest is a supply. So this is actually not supply. That is a reason. It is not taxable, not exempted. Clear? If you return the note as exempted, you will lose mark. Definitely you will lose mark. Are you getting everyone? Yes. Second one, tell me. Processing fee, taxable, exempted. Processing fee, I told you all the fee, charges, everything will be taxable. So this is taxable. Commission, taxable, exempted, everyone. Commission, taxable or exempted? Taxable. Commission is taxable. Interest, I told you interest is normally exempted, but two types of interest are taxable, which is that interest on finance lease, interest on credit card. So whether it is taxable or exempted, whether it is taxable or exempted, whether this interest is taxable or exempted, interest on credit card, taxable or exempted, everyone tell me. Taxable, this is taxable. Interest on housing loan, that is supply. Interest on housing loan, is that taxable or exempted? Interest on housing loan, is that taxable or exempted? Exempted. Minimum balance charges, taxable or exempted? Minimum balance charges, taxable or exempted? That is taxable. Yes, clear. Set. Settle. Yes. Next one is, I actually just to do every question, but we don't have time, right? Okay. So next one, I'll show this one. These one note 6, for examples. Service related rearing of sheep. Rearing of sheep, taxable or exempted, everyone. Rearing of sheep, taxable or exempted. Rearing of sheep, taxable or exempted. Exempted, because the rearing of, which rearing is only taxable? Which rearing is only taxable? Horse. So sheep is exempted. Artificial insemination of horse, tax or exempted. Artificial insemination of horse, tax or exempted. Artificial insemination, normally exempted, but horse is taxable. Processing of sugar cane into jaggery. Processing of sugar cane into jaggery. Why taxable? Why taxable? Reason? Reason. Taxable, I agreed. What is the reason? Reason why it is taxable. Wow, very good. It has changed its characteristics. It has changed its characteristics. So that is the reason it is taxable. Okay, very good. Next one. Milling of paddy into rice. Milling of paddy into rice. Paddy, nelly. Nelly. What do you call it in other language? I don't know. Paddy into rice. Tell me, taxable or exempted? Taxable, because it is specifically clarified. Milling of paddy into rice is taxable. It is specifically clarified. Last one. Fumigation in a warehouse. Tax or exempted? Fumigation in a warehouse. Fumigation. You are actually fogging. Tax or exempted? This was earlier, it was exempted, but in June 20th, last attempt, it is actually from the last attempt, they have withdrawn that exemption. Now it is taxable. Fumigation is taxable now. Fumigation is taxable now. Earlier it was exempted. Very good. Earlier it was exempted. Now it is taxable. Yes. So that is. So how many questions we have done? 14. 14 questions we have done, right? Yes. So far, so good. Questions and all. Is it value addition or value added? Yes. So I'll do amendments, actually. Amendments in the sense, a question in the question I'll show you this, but then other amendments. Otherwise you can just YouTube. I've actually put it on my YouTube channel. Amendments and all, but all the amendments applicable that you can just go through. Just you can type CMA. So there I've given June 23 amendments also there, and November 23 amendments also there. That also in English, so you can watch it. So time of supply chapter. See, the time of supply chapter questions are actually easy question, like you have to compare which is earlier. So I'm not going to do those kind of question. So in the time of supply chapter, I picked up only two questions, but that is I considered, but that is very important question actually. So I will be doing that only, that two question only from the time of supply chapter. One is your December 21 question, and the other one is May 22 question. So these are the two questions that will be working out from the time of supply chapter question. So this is a very important question. In the sense, like, I actually personally like this question very much. Okay, so everybody do this 125. First one is actually not that it's not that tough, but then okay, I'll show you the test, not test. But determine the time of supply in the following cases. An order is placed to TN Company, Sholapur on 18th August 2022 for supply of fabrics to make garments. Company delivered the fabrics on 4th September 2022. After completion of the order, issued invoice on 15th September. The payment is was received on 30th September. Determine the time of supply. E video upload. E video in the video they'll upload, but this video will be made available. I'll discuss with Mubarak, so he will be doing. Okay. Okay, fine. So tell me, everyone, 125th question. What is the time of supply? This is a goods. Fabrics is a goods. In case of goods, what is the time of supply? In case of goods, how you determine the time of supply, everyone? In case of goods, how you determine the time of supply? It's very simple. Date of invoice, last date of invoice, which is earlier. Correct? Payment date of payment is not to consider because there is a notification. So last date of invoice and actual date of invoice, and last date of that removal and everything. Okay, so here actual date of invoice is 15th September. What is the last date? Delivered it on 4th September. So what is the time of supply? 4th September or 15th September, which is earlier? Which is the time of supply, everyone? Which is the time of supply? Is it 4th September or 15th September? 4th September is the last date. Delivered the goods on 4th September. So that is the last date. And what is the actual date? Actual date on 15th September. And the payment date you should not consider. So 4th September and 15th September. So which is the time of supply? Everyone, tell me, which is the time of supply? 4th September. Easy. Simple. 4th September. So that question is actually very easy. But the second question, read, everyone. See the second question, what kind of supply are they talking about? Service. Which service? Which service are they talking about? They are talking about the GTA service. GTA service. So GTA services, where you have seen in RCM, right? RCM. So in RCM, what you have studied? In case of GTA, always RCM. Is that? No, it is not like that. There are two types of percentage: 5%, 12%. If it is 5% RCM, 12% FCM. In case of 5%, there are also another option to pay FCM. You have studied all those things, right? Yes or no? So what you have to do is you have to do this in two options. Then only you will be granted the marks. So you have to first assume it is FCM. Then you have to determine the time of supply. Then secondly, you have to assume it is RCM. Then you have to determine the time of supply separately. So first of all, you have to do it on FCM. So FCM. In case of FCM, how do you determine the time of supply, everyone? In case of FCM, how do you determine the time of supply? This is services. In case of services, RCM will be, in case of services, time of supply will be, first of all, you have to check the last date. And then if the invoice issued within the last date, if the invoice is issued before the last date, then the time of supply will be date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If it is not issued within the last date, then the time of supply will be date of provision of service and date of payment. Provision of services means date of completion of service or date of providing of services, completion or providing of services. So I hope all of you have studied this provision, right? correct? And you have studied the last date. What is the last date? In case of normal supply, it has to be issued within 30 days. That is the last date. 30 days. 30 days from the date of provision. That is the last date of issue of invoice. You have studied this provision rate, then only you will be understand the question. Correct only? You have studied the provision. Yes. Now then do it. If it is FCM, then do it. First of all, you have to find out the last date. Last date. How do you find out the last date? It's very simple. You just add 30 days from the date of provision of services. It is GTA. So what is the date of service? Means their transporting, day of transporting. So it is sent it on 20th July 2022. That is the provision of service. That is a provision, 20th July. So what would be the last date, everyone? What would be the last date? 20th July is the date of provision. So what would be the last date? From there, you have to add 30 days. So what is the last date? 20th July is the date of provision. So add 30 days. So that is the last date. So what would be that? In July we have 31 days. So 31 minus 20 is equal to 11 days. So balance 19 days. So August 19 is the last date. All of you got this? August 19. So August 19 is the last date. But what is the actual date of invoice, everyone? So this is the last date. What is the actual date? What is the actual date? Invoice was received on 20th June. 20th June. Correct? 20th June is the actual date. So how you compute the date of the time of supply? You have to check whether the actual invoice issued within the last date. Yes, because last date is 19th August, but then invoice issued on 20th June. So before the last date, you issued the invoice. So you have to compare date of invoice and date of payment. Date of invoice is 20th June. Date of payment is 25th August. So what is the time of supply? In case of FCM, what is the time of supply, everyone? If it is FCM, what would be the time of supply? 20th June or 25th August. So 25th June is the time of supply. Is that clear? Clear? Because you have to find out the last date. Once you find out the last date, you have to compare whether the actual invoice issued within the last date. Yes, if we issued, then we have to compare actual invoice and date of payment. So the 25th June. So if it is RCM, tell me everyone, if it is RCM, what would be the time of supply? If it is RCM. In case of RCM, what all thing you have to compare? Date of payment and 61st day from the invoice. 61st day from the invoice. So in this situation, date of payment is 25th August and 61st day from invoice, 20th June plus 20th June 2022 plus 61 days. Tell me which will be the date? 20th June plus 61 days. What would be the date? Tell me 20th June plus 61 days. What would be that? 20th August, huh? 20th August. So you have to compare 20th August and 25th August. So what would be the time of supply? 20th August or 25th August? What would be the time of supply? 20th August. So if it is FCM, the time of supply will be 25th June. If it is RCM, the time of supply will be 20th August. So this is how you have to do in this question. Clear? So one more question we'll do for today. Then we will be discussing the next class, 126. And before doing this one, you have to know the theory. In case of goods, we have seen the last date, right? Last date in case of normal, continuous, and sale on approval. What is sale on approval means? You will be sending a goods first to the customer, then he has an option, either he can accept or he can return back. In that situation, what would be the last date of issue of invoice? What is the last date of issue of invoice? What is the due date of issue of invoice? Invoice shall be issued before or at the time of supply taken place, means he is accepting, or 6 months from the date of removal. That means if the recipient accepted within 6 months, then the last date will be date of acceptance, supply taken place. But if he has not accepted within 6 months and also not returned back within 6 months, then the invoice shall be issued on that 6 month ending date. So this is the provision. I think all of you have studied this provision, right? This one all of you know, correct? Yes or no? Yes. Now do this question, everyone. Question 126, May 22 question. I'll tell you the question first. They have sent 500 units on a sale on approval basis, or sale or return basis. Out of this, so 500 units sent it on which date? 25/2022. Out of this 500, 300 units have been sold on 28/7/2022. Balance 200 units is there. Out of this 200, 150 units they have brought back. They brought back it on which date? 25/11/2022. Balance 50 units is not returned back. It is still there with the recipient. So it is not returned. So they are asking not about the time of supply. They are asking explain the provision relating to issue of invoice. They simply asking when to issue invoice. That's it. Or should we issue invoice? That's it. So the first case, 300 units have been sold. So that means it is actually send it on 25, but it is actually accepted on 28/7. Within 2 months they have accepted. So what is the date of invoice? What should be the date of invoice, or what is the last date of invoice, everyone? 28/7/2022. That's it. But then with respect to that 200 units, out of this 150 units have been brought back, other 50 units have not been brought back. So shall we issue invoice with respect to this 150 unit which has been brought back? Shall we issue invoice? Shall we issue invoice with respect to the items which we brought back? Yes or no? Okay, I'll come to that. Shall we issue the items which is not brought back? Definitely yes. Because it is not still brought back. So what would be the date of invoice, everyone? If it is, I told you that if it is not returned, not accepted within 6 months, then we have to issue invoice on the day on which that 6 month ends. So in which date it will be ending the 6 month? 25 is the date of sending. So how you compute? 26, 27, 28, 29, 20, 25 is the 20th May. 20th May is the date of sending. So 1 month will be 20th June, 20th July, 20th August, 20th September, 20th October, 20th November. 20th November is the date on which that 6 months gets over. So you have to issue invoice for these 50 items on 20th November. What about this 150 units? Shall we issue invoice for that 150 unit, everyone? Shall we issue invoice on that 150 units? Of course, yes. Even though it is brought back, it is not brought back within 6 months. It is brought back after 6 months, because 6 months goes over on 20/11/2022. It is brought back on 25/11 after 6 months. So for these 150 items also, you have to issue invoice on 2011. Are you getting everyone? Clear? Is it clear? So I think I've done 16 questions for today. So balance 14 or 15, whatever question we'll be doing in the next session. So the next session will be more important than this, because in the next session we will be covering the value of supply, ITZ, payment of tax, returns, every important chapter we will be covering the next session. And that doesn't mean that this one is not actually important. This is also very important because we have done variety of questions, right? So I hope